now, from Stoner Studios, it's the Wake and Bake News with Buddy Scott!
Hello and welcome to the Stoner's Wake and Bake News. My name is Buddy Scott and I'm here to tell you all of the important news you might have missed because, well, you know. So sit back and smoke some weed with us as we catch you up to speed. Russian researchers are arguing that Jean Calment, a woman who Guinness World Records recognizes as the oldest person ever recorded at 122 years, was not who she claimed to be. The claim is that she was actually her daughter Yvonne, who took her mother's identity as a way to get around the inheritance tax. Looking at her picture, we at the Stoners believe Jean. However, Christian scientists have been arguing this claim for years, saying that the Guinness World Record should go to Methuselah, who lived for 969 years and probably looks something like this. A Dutch astronaut missed a zero when making a phone call from the International Space Station, which was a big deal it turns out. To make a phone call, an astronaut first presses 9 for an outgoing phone call, followed by 011 for an international call. Missing that zero had you directed to Houston's 911. The ISS shouldn't hold their breath on 911 getting there anytime soon though, and should maybe try Domino's next time. In other space news, China has grown a plant on the moon. A cotton seed has sprouted on a Chinese lunar lander, giving humanity a hope of a future where we can terraform and colonize other planets. This Christmas, a Virginia family were not the only ones praying around their Christmas tree. People do that, right? A nest filled with more than 100 praying mantis eggs were hidden in a Christmas tree. The family plans on using a different tree next year. We at the Stoners recommend the following Christmas tree ideas. Breaking news. Costco is now selling 27-pound tubs of macaroni and cheese that has a shelf life of 20 years. As much as the Stoners support 27 pounds of mac and cheese, we are not at all prepared to be thinking towards the inevitable apocalypse and don't want our food to outlive humanity. Also, Twinkies don't need that kind of competition. A nude restaurant in Paris is zipping up and closing their doors after 1 year. Au Naturel got some international attention last year when stories went viral of a restaurant where the patrons partake their meal in the nude. Customers would completely undress as closed staff walked around and served meals to those deemed worthy. Seriously, look at those walls. My ass would give you snow blindness. Earlier this year, South Park had an episode called The Problem with the Pooh, where the city decided that they did not want the infamous Mr. Hanky the Christmas Pooh in their city anymore, and they suggested the Pooh relocate to Springfield. This was a direct jab at the Simpsons creators' unwillingness to change a Pooh, an Indian convenience store owner with the biggest Indian accent, played by this guy, Hank Azaria. Well, if it turns out even Springfield didn't want him, as NASA engineers had discovered Mr. Hanky on Jupiter. This just in, China has informed us that the moon plant has died. Humanity has lost all hope. Do you think wine glasses are just a bit too fancy? Well, fuck it. Why not drink out of a Pringles can? Police in Wichita Falls, Texas were called out to a local Walmart where they found a woman driving an electric scooter drinking wine from a Pringles can. Now, how can one make this idea any classier? A bar owner from Texas has just the idea. Houston's The Branch had a Pringles can wine night where customers were given wine from a box served in a Pringles can, all for the classy high price of $3. Still better than drinking bong water, I guess. Some scientists want to be able to track our farts, so they created a tiny pill that can do just that. An Australian research team has created an ingestible electronic capsule. This is no stool tool, as its purpose is to measure and track the gas as it passes through the gut. Soon the hipsters in Silicon Valley will be onto this trend, and they'll have created an app for that. Police have finally made arrests after the 4th robbery in St. John's, Newfoundland involving heavy machinery. These unusual robberies have been targeting ATMs and have seen destruction left in its path. Only in Newfoundland. And finally, the Stoners would like to thank all our viewers and leave them with our 11th tidbit. This picture was more amusing than news, as Kansas City Amusement Park had fun taunting NFL opponents, the New England Patriots, before their big game. Have a good night and smoke weed every day.